Nobody taught us this. Like you probably had the how to avoid pregnancy talk when you were in middle school by either a teacher or a friend, but now you're actually trying to get pregnant and you might be wondering if you know everything you should. Well, I'm Dr. Angela Thayer. I'm a reproductive endocrinologist and a fertility specialist. I want to break it all down for you and make it easy. So we're going to start at the very beginning, the biology of conception. We're going to talk about sperm and eggs in the uterus and how it all works. We're going to talk about some hormones and the fallopian tubes and timing and everything you're going to need. So the first thing is that you can only get pregnant for about 6 days during your cycle. Not 28, not 30, not 14, just 6. The 5 days before ovulation and the day of ovulation. That's it. Other than that, the timing is probably going to make it super unlikely. Now, when you release one egg from your ovary, that egg is only good for about 12 to 24 hours. That happens on the day of ovulation. The sperm can live 5 days. So you can have intercourse anytime prior to ovulation in that 5 days before, and the sperm are going to hang around and keep swimming around. They're going to swim through the cervix, through the uterus, up to the fallopian tube, and hang out there until the egg meets it in the fallopian tube. So you don't have to get your timing perfect. You just have to get intercourse within those 5 days to get some sperm in there. And then if you want the best timing, you can have intercourse the day before ovulation and the day of ovulation if you want the healthiest, fastest sperm. So I want to explain now about the hormone signals that are going on. You first secrete a hormone called FSH that causes a follicle to grow. The follicle is a little fluid-filled sac in the ovary that contains an egg. As that egg grows, it secretes a second hormone called estrogen. When the estrogen level gets high enough, it stimulates release of a third hormone called LH. Once LH is released, you're going to release the egg about 24 to 36 hours later. You can detect that LH surge either in a blood or urine test. That's called the ovulation predictor kit or ovulation predictor test. So after the egg is released, fimbria from the fallopian tube are going to pick it up and swoosh it down into the uterus. And the sperm are going to meet the egg in the fallopian tube and fertilize it there. The DNA from the egg and the DNA from the sperm are going to meet and start crossing over and start dividing. So that basically you've got your embryo and all the cells are going to start dividing while they're in the fallopian tube before they even implant. By the time the embryo makes its way into the uterus, it's already about 5 or 6 days old, and it's called a blastocyst. It has about 100 cells, and then it's going to land somewhere in that lovely lush lining, and hopefully the endometrium, which is the lining, is going to kind of cover it over and push it into the lining. And then that embryo is going to start secreting another hormone called HCG. That's the pregnancy hormone. And you can pick that up in your blood or urine as well. So here's the takeaway. The whole process from ovulation to the positive pregnancy test takes about 2 weeks. And part of it you have some control over is understanding when to have intercourse in your fertile window in those 5 or 6 days leading up to ovulation. So that's the basics. And I'm Dr. Angela Thayer. I'm glad you're here.